The following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. Gibberish. We had to keep the subtitles on.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
Hello everyone, it's 4 a.m. once again, and that means it's time for the 4 a.m. podcast, where me and my friends watch movies from our past and see how they hold up to our older, more cynical selves. I'm your host, as always, Tony. Joining me today is...
Joe.
Brian.
Who am I?
And a peep.
And a Peep. I'm Peeps.
I got my peeps with me.
I'm Peeps Marshmallow Chicks.
And Tony, you called it. You got exactly 2 lines out. Everything.
Oh, I know how this works now, Joe.
Yeah. Doing
All
a
right.
little Tommy Wiseau over there? What's...
I think we're doing Arrested Development here.
It's just like, oh.
It's just a marshmallow.
Yeah, it's just marshmallow, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
in the shape of a bird.
I bought them for my Tyrannosaurus to eat.
Oh, background, there are peeps in front of me. I've not had peeps in a decade.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to have a pink one.
All right, so...
For breast cancer awareness.
Well, guys, you might not want to eat so much candy because you need to start running again. The bitch is back. That's the tagline.
Really?
Is that referring to the alien or Sigourney
Sigourney
Weaver?
What?
So she was like, get away from you, bitch.
Because
And like,
none of those statements are true.
yeah, like,
I mean, some people did run in this film.
We also got, this time it's hiding in the most terrifying place of all.
Sigourney Weaver's vagina?
Guess.
A dog.
We're going to say a donkey show? What?
I was going to say Charles Dance, but it started to come out as Donald Pleasance. Because I don't know. Because I don't know who I am.
All right, so
Where
spoiler.
I am.
This movie's a little weird.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't even named it yet.
It's a little weird.
So, it's about as weird as this.
By the way, I just want to say, if they were being stalked by Donald Pleasance, better movie.
Slowly and painfully stalked by Donald Pleasance.
That's correct.
Oh, man.
All right,
Not
so
from Halloween. From Puma Man.
whatever.
Which
So
Marvel stole for the Black Panther. God.
all right.
Open those Doritos.
So for anyone that can still follow what's happening here, we did Aliens Cubed from 1992, directed kind of by David Fincher.
Ugh.
What are you about?
Well, I believe some studio executives held his arms and moved his mouth while they said other words.
We'll get into it, but yeah, this was his directorial debut, which almost shot his career down. But someone decided, actually, one of the people, or two of the people on this film, including Sigourney Weaver, was like, give this guy another chance. So he also,
You didn't give him one this time.
well, he's also the guy that brought us little things like Seven, The Game, Fight Club, Panic Room, Zodiac, The Social Network, and Gone Girl.
All movies I didn't like.
Fight Club?
7 in Fight Club?
Okay.
Yeah, Rob's like that.
Sure.
Maybe he don't like Brad Pitt.
I like Brad Pitt fine. Helena Bonham Carter I could do without.
But she's in like a bunch of movies that you like, isn't she?
Gwyneth Paltrow gets her head cut off in 7. It's pretty amazing.
Don't you like all
Kevin
Tim Burton
Spacey
movies?
gets arrested. What's
Yeah.
wrong with that?
Well, I mean, that's...
That's
She's in
shot
like
in the
every
head.
Tim Burton movie with Johnny Depp ever. Like,
I don't
I'm-
know if
are
you're
you-
helping.
Are you
me.
trying to sell me on
I'm
this?
just throwing shit out there.
You can keep throwing it.
Yeah, again, I don't think
I
it's
think
working the
that's-
way you want, Brian.
I think that's the ethos of this episode. We're just throwing shit out there.
If you guys knew what was in store here. That's going to come in great in a moment. But first, let's go with, what is your personal history with this movie? Brian.
First time I saw this was on like USA as a kid when my parents had gone to church and left me at home because I probably faked being sick. And I remember watching it and like I remember being bored for the movie.
Mm-hmm. I can't imagine why. Rob.
Oh, real church is better than Charles has done in church.
No arguments there.
I can't for the life of me remember what my history is with this movie. I know I've seen it. I feel like I saw it somehow in theaters, but I don't remember. I may have just seen it. I don't know. I really don't remember.
Joe.
I know I saw it once, and I do remember thinking at the time, that would have been so much better of a movie if it were not part of the Alien franchise. Even back then, I realized, I'm like, this doesn't seem to fit with the other two.
Just make the monster a different monster.
Yeah.
And like just move it.
Yeah.
Also, remember you said that in a moment. But I'm kind of not surprising. I'm kind of with Rob. I think we saw this in the theaters. I don't remember much about it. I'm guessing because much like today, I probably took a good nap through a good portion of this.
Well, you were asleep, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I tried, guys. I was trying.
Was it the conversation with the bald guy talking to the other bald guy, or was it the conversation where the other bald guy talked to the other bald guy?
Both.
Okay. Oh, you slept from one to the other?
Pretty much.
and talked is a strong word, more like whispered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muttered.
Muttered.
That's good,
Yeah.
They were
Chatter
telling,
came up a lot. On the
They were
closed
telling
caption.
each other diary secrets through this whole movie. It's just like,
All right.
Bobby.
But, so, getting the history of this movie itself, as I mentioned, David Fincher was his first movie that he did. He disowns anything to do with this movie. In fact, the cut we watched is referred to as the assembly cut because when they made the DVD box set for the Alien trilogy, or quadrilogy, whichever it was.
I own it, I think, so.
Quartet. Whichever it was. But basically, they asked everyone to do a director's cut of their movies.
Yeah. Okay,
to which
that's
he
the one I own then.
basically gave them a big middle finger and said, there's no way you could scrap a good movie out of this. So someone else had to kind of put his original script together and figure out what he wanted. And so it's called the assembly cut instead of a director's cut.
Because the whole time you're watching it, you're like, I could be watching Avengers right now.
Yeah. And he has said, he's been quoted as saying, to this day, no one hates this movie more than I do.
We'll see about that, Mr. Fincher.
Well, yeah. This movie had a lot of problems with multiple writers, rewriters, studio interference, all kinds of nonsense going on with that.
I like the concept that there's somebody whose job is a rewriter.
Yeah. But there were a lot of last minute changes. So they actually built a $7 million set that was never used in this movie.
Are you serious?
That's great.
It's always a good start. Yeah.
Like, so you got Alien, amazing ass movie. You got Aliens, amazing ass movie. Like, you already have what works.
Two movies that define genres.
Yes.
So just like do those.
Well,
Like-
this was the problem. The studio was kind of not in a great spot, so they really needed a hit. So anytime, and I'm sure judging by the director and what else he's done, he probably had some unusual ideas that might have ended up great, but they were like, that's risky. We can't do that. We need a hit. We need, paint by numbers, put out the standard bullshit, give us a Ghostbusters 2.
But it wasn't paint by numbers.
Well, no,
It
this one
just
was like,
awful
well,
and
they
gross.
gave him a paint by numbers
Yeah.
painting, and then he dumped a bucket of paint
Yes.
all over
Yeah,
it,
but
like
all the
Jackson
paints were
Pollock.
brown and yellow.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Again, remember those words.
All his friends are brown and red.
But one of the scripts in here that someone had wrote actually had Ripley landing on a planet very thick in forest where she would meet 7 monks who would take her home in her cryo tube.
You fucking serious?
Anyone see where
Wow.
this is
You
going?
fucking serious?
Wow.
Wait, what?
Snow White, Rob. It's Snow White.
Ellen
No, like,
Ripley and the
I
Seven Monks.
get it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just,
I
my brain actually.
Does
Yeah,
the
I don't
alien
know.
come by and offer her an apple that makes her fall asleep?
I don't know. I think
Well, I mean, that's kind of we did watch a fan theory about how Aliens ended to create this one. So maybe it was the Queen running with an egg. She's like, take a bite.
But yeah, from what I read, that's pretty much about as far as the guy got before the studio exec said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And that was the end of his chance. Let's see. Well, I forgot to write the guy's name down, but kind of what you were saying before there, Joe. One of the writers on this used a bulk of his script to then go on and direct another little movie called Pitch Black,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But William Gibson also wrote a treatment of this script where it was going to be a two-parter that was supposed to be back-to-back, and it focused primarily on Hicks and Bishop getting Newt back to Earth, to her grandparents or whatever, and fighting another like a militant group or whatever that was trying to use the xenomorphs as a bioweapon. No Ripley involved.
So Jurassic Park 2.
As long as Vince Vaughn wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Does Newt at any point ride a bicycle with a xenomorph in the front basket?
I don't know. It never got made.
Or swing on some
No.
uneven bars and kick a xenomorph out a window.
No, I would argue it is said that script was primarily used to make the Colonial Marines video game.
And that went well.
I
So,
got scrubbed from the team.
I don't know.
Mostly.
Wow. But yeah, nothing was kept from that original script other than the barcodes being on the back of the necks. Michael Belaine? Is that how you say it? Or
I don't know.
the guy that played Hicks.
Oh,
um,
yeah.
Oh.
But in an interview, he said he was deeply hurt that he was killed off early in this movie.
Not even in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Well,
a reason for that, yeah.
Yes. They originally were going to have a chest burster come out of him, which is how the alien got, involved somewhat. But he was like, fuck you guys, and was threatening to sue
Rightly
over his
so.
likeness. Yeah. So they eventually just said, we're going to drop an I-beam on his face so he's smashed so much you can't recognize him, because they couldn't use his likeness at all. He did eventually give them permission to use his photo later on, which was mainly because he got paid as much for that one photo being used as he did for being in Aliens.
Which is not even in the movie you watched, was it?
I don't recall seeing
I
it.
don't remember that.
Unless
Yeah,
I was
so it must have been
pooping at that
theatrical
point.
cut. Lance Henriksen only agreed to reprise this role as a favor for Walter Hill, and he is also famously disliking this movie for its nihilistic tones. And then, my favorite tidbit of all, since this is a very brown movie, they apparently also found the brown note. And in test screenings, a lot of people had to leave early to go use the bathroom due to the sound effects.
Is that what happened to me?
Due to the sound effects.
Believed to be due.
We got an hour and a half
Hour and a
into
half
this
in.
2.5 hour movie,
Ugh.
and I was like, I have to go poop. I can't hold it. And it wasn't even like an emergency, like, Fat Chat Friday emergency.
Yeah.
It was just like my body was like, I really want to poop right now.
It was looking for anything else
It,
to do.
it really probably was.
Yeah,
I mean,
this could be an anomaly because just with what we eat on Fridays,
I mean,
and sitting
yeah.
down for a 2-hour
We do-
movie.
we do not have a unsoiled test area.
Yeah,
We
but
do not have a control.
also I believe a lot of that was changed after the original test screening to not have that effect.
And now
on
it just
people.
makes you feel like shit.
Yes. All right, so that's the history on this movie. Anyone want to guess how much this cost to make?
Way too much. There's no way that this wasn't.
Everything,
92?
Yes.
everything Sigourney Weaver made from Aliens.
I'm gonna say $110 million.
75.
How much does it cost for Sonic the Hedgehog assets?
Oh my god.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Rob. So you're guessing one gold ring?
No, I'm guessing 13 gold rings before Eggman just stun locks you to death.
Does that have a translation?
It does not.
All right. Well, it was actually $50 million.
Really?
Everyone loses.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Oh, everyone.
That's
Yeah.
also that's all I got as the estimated budget here. So maybe
It's
this
7
is
million.
really off.
So that's almost 20% of your movie's budget was just sitting in a set that never got used.
Yep.
And I'm guessing another 20% was just Sigourney Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone want to guess how much it made?
They made another one, but the other one forgets this movie, right? Like they intentionally doesn't mention the movie at all, right?
Well, it recognizes
mentioned-
that she dies.
Yeah.
And retcons the hell out.
Yep.
It George Lucas's that sucker real
$65
fast.
million.
I'm gonna say $95 million.
Hundy 15.
I'd have to give it to Joe. It was $160 million.
Made that much?
Made that much.
That alien name gets you some money.
Yeah.
But like, no one saw it twice.
But a lot of
Hopefully-
people
No,
saw it once.
Yeah. No, a lot of people saw it for the first time, and we weren't quite at that point where people could go online and quickly be warned about how terrible movies
That's
were.
fair. That's fair.
I do know more than one person that insists this is the best of the Alien movies.
Why do you talk to them still? People that I
for
know.
their wacky backwards
Not really.
opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, people may think this is the best. I mean, they're
Wrong.
empirically wrong. But
Everyone's
they can-
entitled to
they
their
can
own
think
opinion.
whatever they want.
Yeah,
I
everyone's
think it
entitled to
might
their own.
just be because they don't have the attachment to the Alien franchise. It's more they just like the artistic style of this movie better than
But there isn't any artistic style. It's
there's
just
a
Brown.
style.
it's just gross.
Yeah.
Brown is the style. Yeah, I would guess this is probably more like
Hold on, wait. Do they also like Highlander 2?
I've never tried to cross
You
reference.
should find out,
data points.
because that's also a Brown movie.
it sure is. No, but if I were to guess, they are probably at the right age of being like in their teens-ish, and like this was a slightly more mature movie, and
Okay.
whatever. Like
I
it just
was-
hit them the right way.
I was
12?
12
Yeah.
when this came out. And even then, I thought the alien effects were terrible.
I'm not saying that that works on everyone, but I mean that would be my guess why a lot of people have a attachment to this. But- So let's speaking of the effects, let's try and get into this nonsense.
It's a spaceship,
Hold on to your butts. It's
in
going to be a long
space.
ride.
Yeah, well,
and then
hopefully
there's
not.
an egg, and you're like, "How'd the egg get there?"
All right.
And then there's a space.
Doesn't
fucking-
matter.
Few things. One, there's a cast list to go through.
Oh,
sorry.
we keep forgetting the cat.
But
You know what?
the cast list you want to see all die in the last movie.
Watch.
It's,
Check it.
it's Sigourney Weaver.
I got it real quick.
All right.
Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley. Charles S. Dutton as Rock. Charles Dance as Bald Guy. Paul McGann as Bald Guy. Brian Glover as Bald Guy. Ralph Brown as Bald Guy. Danny Webb as Bald Guy. Done.
Yeah, well, you forgot to mention Pete Postlethwaite, who is completely wasted in
Yep.
this movie as Bald Guy.
Returning
He
to
was
this movie.
David the Bald Guy.
Observer.
Oh, and Lance Henriksen as Bishop too.
As weird face guy.
Yeah. Okay, so bottom line, there's like 25 bald guys in this movie.
Yep.
Yes.
And I could tell you two of them, I think. I think there was a Dylan and a Clemens.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the
Dylan,
superintendent's name was.
Dylan was the dark bald guy.
Yeah.
That was Rock. That was Rock.
Yeah.
Clemens was...
I think when this came out, he had a TV show when this came out. So.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Maybe.
that was how I recognized him at the time.
Clemens was a Lannister.
Oh, he was the Lannister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tywin Lannister. And then
Then we got
wasn't it like a
Charles
like
Donald
a
Pleasant
gristle?
Stance.
Wasn't it like a gristle, a garlic?
Gristle garlic.
Garlic. That's a garlic.
His gristle
But
garlic.
no, I thought his name was Garlic.
Yeah, I
did
did
too.
too. But except
That's
for the
what's
fact
in
that
my
we
notes.
had the subtitles on.
I was this close to changing his name on our cast list to Garlic Jr.
I would have been none the wiser.
Isn't Garlic Jr. a bald guy?
He is.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
This would make like if you took the alien out and put in Piccolo and Garlic Jr. in there, like it's a better movie.
The animation would have been better. the
There would
length
just
of
be a
the
lot of
film.
bald guys standing around going,
The film's runtime would have made more sense.
Wait. Did you say putting them in would have made this into a bunch of bald guys going around going,
No, it already was.
I was gonna say.
It would have made sense.
They're already doing it.
Yeah, like same thing.
Oh man.
Throw Krillin in there. Come on, we got a cast going.
All right.
Got yourself a stew.
I will say, though, all shit talking aside, like, while the plot of this first scene doesn't make a lick of sense, I do really like the way it's filmed. Like, the credits, I've never been so creeped out by credits before.
And they made sure to change the Fox opening to make the music
Yep.
fit.
Yep,
Yeah,
that brown
that's how you know it was special.
That's when I started feeling like gurgling in my tummy. It's like, whoa.
Well, that I think was the David Fincher touch.
You got the David Fincher touch.
You don't want that far.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
It's a little brown.
All right. So, artistically, I really like the scene where it's mostly credits, and then every once in a while there's a split-second shot of something terrible happening. It's a face hugger. It gets in Ripley's tank. It gets cut, breaking through the glass. There's some acid spills on the floor. There's a fire. and the escape pod gets ejected. So, that's all the compliments I'm going to get out of the way. Now, how the fuck did this facehugger get in here?
I will say, that's a cool ass, scene, thing that, the spaceship is so advanced. If something happens, it takes the tubes and puts them in the escape pods and sends it out.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Science.
That's cool. Okay.
Science!
So you guys can correct me if I miss
We
something.
will.
Yeah, that's fine. So, alright. This facehugger comes out of an egg that came from
We don't know.
somewhere.
The lab.
Yeah, the lab. Just showed up
Science!
on this. Yeah, exactly. So, and there had to be 2 facehuggers.
Had to be.
So there had to presumably be 2 eggs somewhere.
Yep.
Or one facehugger got on not beforehand.
I guess we'll go with that. Sure.
Okay. If I could jump ahead for a moment. My theory. While all the craziness of aliens was going on, and they got on the ship,
Yeah.
the queen, just before her ass exploded, was like, get some of these eggs out of here. And a facehugger grabbed its tail around an egg and dragged it into the ship.
Oh, you don't think she
Where it
was
waited.
she was like fucking Duke Nukem sticky bombs through the eggs onto Ripley as she was running?
Maybe.
Just on her back the whole time.
There was a hot second where I believe the ship was parked in Aliens when Ripley and Hicks were having a conversation.
Yeah.
And the ramp was down.
Yeah.
Maybe...
The queen came out of the ship.
Well,
at
she
one
came
point.
out of the landing gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, she didn't have her ass with her.
She's no way to lay
And-
eggs.
I guarantee
That we know of.
Ellen Ripley checked. She would have checked
Oh, yeah, she's
everywhere
not-
on
yeah.
the
Yeah.
ship. There's no way...
The egg was just hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah. No, she would have taken a flamethrower to the whole ship
Oh, yeah.
before she went to bed.
Right.
She would have checked. I do not accept that there's just a facehugger.
Right. You've got an android, although beat up. You've got
Yeah.
Hicks. You've got Newt. You got Ripley. Nobody's noticing this crap, in this confined space.
Yeah, I would say your bigger problem is I'll buy the facehugger because Ripley will check, but it's a good sized ship. Maybe she can't get every nook and
Yeah.
cranny.
Oh.
I'm not buying an egg.
Those eggs are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facehugger can,
Well, and-
skid around like a spider
Yeah.
and crawl into little corners. An egg, you're gonna notice that shit.
I mean, the queen needed an entire ass sack to for the eggs to germinate and
Right.
do their thing.
Yeah.
So she didn't just poop one out when
No.
she got on the Sulaco.
I will say, that was for mass production.
Yep.
Nah, look at that queen. She does not have birthing hips.
Yeah. No.
Mass production, though.
She needs to squirt the juice out.
It could have been the back of her head.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
mean, all
You
right.
just try.
Yeah.
Just hiding in that head crest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just picturing they're hanging down like big
Yeah.
poop earrings.
And I could see if the queen had an alien, had a few eggs that she saved from her hive and was taken with her, but that didn't happen.
No.
And I know we have to have a movie here, so we're kind of splitting hairs, but no, try harder.
The egg was unnecessary. They could have just
Yeah.
had
Yeah,
facehuggers.
again, yeah,
just
facehuggers can
facehugger made
get
it
on.
whatever.
We'll buy
Um,
that.
But so all right. So facehugger humps its way into Ripley's tube.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not the only thing in this movie.
Huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, well, he lays an egg, presumably dies somewhere, and then this thing crashes into the water.
Yep.
Ripley survives.
Somehow.
Somehow.
We'll just say future tech. I don't
Newt
know.
drowns
Mhm.
somehow.
Hicks is smashed.
Hicks is
Oh.
just absolutely utterly destroyed.
Yeah.
How did Newt was her tube broken? How did Ripley survive and Newt not survive? That's the thing that's killing me. How did Newt
All
drown?
their tubes apparently broke. Obviously an I-beam came through and just
Yeah.
demolished Hicks.
Yeah, but
Well-
here's the thing.
It might have been one of those scenarios where somehow, because Newt's tube was intact. Actually, it wasn't even because it did have an acid burn on it.
Yeah.
So never mind. But I was going to say it might have been able to retain liquid while Ripley's didn't.
I think what we're dealing with is this is that odd scenario where the person that was in a car accident that was wearing a seatbelt and stayed in the car somehow got killed by the crushing of the car, whereas the person that got thrown through the front windshield somehow survived. That seems to be what basically happened here. I don't know how that works.
It's just all
Paul
Yeah,
Reiser.
Yeah.
Paul
Paul Reiser, yes.
Paul Reiser,
Paul
sure.
Rudd
Paul Reiser.
used his magical anti-aging serum.
No, but he sabotaged the pods.
Yeah, no.
Somehow.
Somehow after he died.
Well, he did it. Maybe he did it before.
Did it
they went
beforehand.
down.
Right, yeah,
I
he
don't
did it
know.
beforehand.
And nobody checked.
Well, you know, if Ripley just looked past that egg, who knows what else she might have
True.
forgotten.
Same.
She was like, "Screw this, man! I got my little wrist communicator from Hicks. See, that means we're married.
Okay.
and we're just gonna.
Yeah, you know what? I think there was something I was supposed to do before we all went to sleep, but fuck it, I'm tired.
So, major problem here.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore. Besides the facehuggers being there, besides Ripley surviving the crash, whatever. Like, you just fucking killed Hicks and Newt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, they're just done.
yeah.
Yep.
Characters that we remember from the second movie and love.
Love.
'cause
Yeah.
the
they're
driving point of the second movie,
Yeah.
saving Newt's dumb ass.
Yeah. No heroic death. No nothing.
Nope.
Just fuck them. They're
New,
dead.
awesome kid, not annoying at all. Does cool
one of
stuff.
the best kids in a thrown into a movie ever.
Yeah.
Like one of the few times where I don't mind the kid being there.
This was one of the major problems most people had with this movie when it came out, is they
Yeah.
were like, this is some bullshit. What
That's a
happened
big
is-
fucking problem.
Yeah, what
It
happened to
really
you?
is.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I love me some Hicks.
Yeah.
You know, could he at least gotten like a heroic sacrifice? Nope, fuck them. They're both dead.
Yeah.
So you better bring some awesome sauce in your movie here to make up for that.
Yeah. And so instead, the half vampire, half werewolf from Underworld washes up on the beach.
Mm.
And
So if I could just throw in for a moment, another idea that they had floating around for a while, when everyone got ejected, little pods that went different places, so Newt and Hicks could have been alive and she still could have been
Yeah.
stranded on her own.
Yep.
that would have been fine.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Great.
Absolutely fine.
Anyway, you were saying.
So also,
Charles Dance.
we're now on the world Fury 161. It's a penal colony. It is a double Y chromosome penal
Yes,
colony.
double Y chromosome.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure someone will write in and tell us.
Like
It's where,
It's extra dicks.
where two dudes birth a baby?
yes.
Or was it just a really manly lady? Like
It's just super.
I was just gonna say, I was just thinking like the trailers that they live in are a
Yeah.
little bigger. Sorry.
I see what you're saying, but
I know, it was bad. I'm sorry.
like I mean,
It makes no sense.
if that's what's going on, even if that's somehow like you were genetically, you're missing like a quarter of your genetic material. Like,
It would explain
They should
these
be
people.
missing
Well,
pieces
that
and
actually does
stuff.
explain
Yeah.
a lot about these guys.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Sure, okay, whatever. You're the boss. This is double Y chromosome colony. Sure.
And they keep talking about that.
Yeah.
But nobody explains it. They just keep mentioning it. It's like, this is a double Y chromo penal call.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, maybe like Bear Grylls and like Tim Allen had sex and made a kid. It was just the manliest man you could ever man.
They just have to sword fight every night before bed.
Wow.
Tell you what, these are not the manliest men
They're
I've ever
really
met.
not.
Not at all. All right. So this guy that finds this Muddy Ripley, Eric was really excited about this man's coat. Like really excited.
He would be.
A dirty,
he would
filthy hobo coat covered in
Yeah.
maggots.
No, because
Yep.
when he's walking, the way he's blowing in the wind,
Yeah.
Brick would be all about that.
Yeah.
That was Brick in college, so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that was me in high school, but
Mm.
you get a jaunty scarf, you can get the same effect, I guess.
There's a big difference.
No,
between
yeah,
a
no.
duster and a jaunty scarf.
not in my mind anymore.
Well,
All right.
I mean, admittedly, the scarf is probably more acceptable in modern day, but
You're a doctor or a potter.
Mm.
I don't know.
And Rob's done.
I need a tissue
Okay, so anyway, we get
for my
like
tears.
he brings Ripley back to the colony. They come back with like a bunch of men and a bunch of oxen, and they pull the ship out of the water, and it takes a while.
yeah.
Admittedly, like I don't know, I thought everything here looks cool, and I was excited about like the atmosphere of this place, even though it is like blighty as hell. But I don't know, I liked it. But I'm kind of like we're spending a lot of time and we're not doing a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think some of the major points I would have for like the environment or characters or anything like that is all better explored in Pitch Black.
yeah,
So,
indeed.
yeah, lose
Well,
points.
Pitch Black had distinct characters.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like any idea here is done
Yeah.
better in Pitch Black.
So, what do we got here? We I don't know. We see Charles S. Dutton's character Dylan. You son of a bitch.
We said it too.
Yeah. He's leading a prayer. They're talking about the harmony they have here. A woman's going to disrupt it. I don't know.
Because, again, I think just, scripts in a blender. Like, we're like, it's a prison planet. No, it's a monk planet. How about the prisoners find religion and become monks and whatever?
It's a planet where monks evolve from men.
Yeah, basically. It's, I guess, to give them more characteristics, but it doesn't really work.
What characteristics do they need? They already have double Y chromosomes.
All right, so now we get...
Actually, I have an email request. Mm-hmm. Mr. DNA, could you type in and tell us what the hell a double Y chromosome is?
All right, Rob. I'll do that for you.
Hey, how about you stop ratting me?
Hey, Rob, when you get 5 script writers drunk in a room, they come up with some bullshit.
Now I'm just picturing it's like, well, because there were only Y chromosomes, we had to fill in the gaps with frog DNA.
That would also explain these people.
One of them turns into a girl. It'd be so horrible.
Life finds way.
Yeah.
I would believe it.
Alan Grant is walking through. He finds a little cluster of eggs.
Just the alien running for its life from all these weirdos.
He just goes up to Newt.
Be here.
True. What if the movie just turned around and all these guys just gang rape this alien?
Oh, but Grant just goes up to Newt like, it's not the alien from the front you got to worry about. It's the two from the side you didn't know were there.
Hey guys, a mouth's a mouth, and this alien's got 2 of them. Oh, Jesus. It's got a flashlight in its head.
Okay, so...
Actually, while we're on that, another little tidbit I found. They decided to redesign this alien, as you may have noticed, for this movie.
Yep. To make it look stupid.
Well, one of the requests for H.R. Geiger was to make it look, quote, sexier, which is why it's a little sleeker without the little back pipes. And it also...
back pipes, not bagpipes.
I said back pipes.
I know, I was just clarifying for the audience.
All right. This is also why it has more pronounced lips, which at one point...
DSLs now.
No, it didn't have lips.
Yeah.
Because its mouth made faces.
Yeah. And at one point, it was going to have a more, aggressive alien that was going to kiss you and then shoot the little mouth into you or something, too.
Oh, like the lady gremlin at the end of Gremlins 2?
I was thinking more like Species, but close enough. But, like, who the fuck asked for that?
That should be, like, one of, like...
I forgot about Species.
One of the main rules of the world is you don't ask H.R. Giger to make anything sexier.
Yeah.
No.
That's a recipe
because
for
he doesn't know what that word means.
Yeah.
But also,
at least not in the conventional sense.
When they said this, I wondered who knew about it, because all I could think was that one part from The Critic where they show the scene of the alien getting up there and the little mouth comes out and just gives her a kiss in the cheek. Like, is that what they were going to do?
Here's how they designed the alien for this movie. They got Charles Montgomery Burns, and they gave him his eye drops, and they gave him his shots, and then his throat medicine. And then by the time it was all done, it was the alien.
Oh, okay then.
This is the most sickly looking, sad little old man of an alien I've ever seen.
It's a joke for me and Matt.
When it's not a cartoon.
Yeah, let's...
Can we... Oof. Before the alien gets in it, though, I got another...
Which is an hour and a half.
It's like an hour before.
Yeah, you got plenty of time, Joe.
I got to complain about here. Okay, I know Ripley... she's worried that they'll think she's crazy when she's talking about like having to talk about the alien, so she doesn't tell them about the secret, and she's like want to do the autopsy.
Never stopped her before.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not Ripley.
Yeah, Ripley didn't give a shit. She's like, this is what's going to happen.
Right. She would not have put up with half of the shit that happens in this movie.
Like I figured she was. I said to Tony, I figured that, she was keeping quiet because she figured that they would communicate that one might be there. Yep. And then we'll try and come get it.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. Like, in my mind, I would think that she would want that to happen. And then she would just go hamtown on all those guys that show up.
She's not really in a position to be doing that.
I mean, hamtown in the sense of, like, yelling at them.
No, I agree, because Brian said that during the movie because I had the same thought, but I think the big key factor there is very quickly when she first gets up, he says something about it being a prison planet owned by Weyland-Yutani, so she was probably like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to give them the thought that this might be a thing, because once they find out they've already been, the ship's been in communication, she's like, fuck it, whatever, there's aliens, they're all over the place, we gotta do something.
All right, fair enough.
So instead she's going to bed him just in order to deflect a question.
So random. So random.
Hell.
It's been a while, Rom.
We are nerds and we have a very specific idea.
Like, it's for her. Alright, so this whole franchise, right, has been a month for her. Because
it's been a really bad month.
The first movie happened, she's frozen for 50 some odd years.
She's trying to get her bonus, man.
Sent back the fuck out. 2 weeks later, she freezes again. It's been like a month or so. This month, she's gone from normal life to nightmare life, and now she's horny? Like, no, I don't believe it.
All right, but again, Ryan, that's like a month of being awake and like, what, 55 years of having like wet dreams? So like, she's got to deal with this.
Wow.
She was frozen. It was icicles.
Oh. And that she needs somebody to warm that up.
So you're saying all these wet dreams are totally overpowering the fact that her natural daughter is dead. Her adopted daughter that she killed a monster for is dead.
Like, she just died an hour ago.
Yeah.
She just cut her open an hour
Yeah.
ago.
She did the
And
autopsy.
we're gonna mutilate her corpse. That's
I don't believe it.
okay. Even if Ellen Ripley can accept that, like I can't accept that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
Us as the audience, and like watching Aliens and seeing sweet little Newt be awesome, and then to see her naked corpse on a table, you're like, what the hell? No wonder David Fincher likes Kevin Spacey so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry, he likes little boys.
This is Doritos.
Yeah, Doritos. Thank you. I'm sorry.
All right. And
I'm
just
sorry, everybody.
Just to clarify for the audience as well, I am not actually arguing for this. This was really stupid. I just like to be an ass.
So Newt and Hicks exit the franchise by being dumped into a smelter.
Yep. Which
That's
apparently what gets Ripley hot.
Bishop, who is one of the like underdog, awesomest characters of Aliens, just he's the only
He's
one. That
literally
actually,
thrown out in the trash.
He is literally in trash, and he's like, "Just kill me." She's like, "Okay, boop, you're dead."
Well, like, that's one thing I didn't understand. So they throw out the robot, the android or whatever. But like, as she shows us, he can get information still. So why wouldn't they think to
At least check his database.
Something like.
I
Where did this come from? Like, what happened? Like,
I think they did not know how.
okay.
I'd buy that.
Yeah.
They were mostly, well, they're inbred apparently.
Yeah.
They're double Y
Double Y
chromosome.
chromosome.
So.
I mean, we don't know if that's inbreeding. We're waiting for the callback from Mr. DNA, but
I
so
think we're kinda jumping
everything's
around
covered
on
in
a limb
maggots
here.
and
In
crickets.
all fairness,
and
though,
gross.
like, most of
It
the
doesn't
movie
matter.
is just boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Hell
it
yeah.
really is
No,
like
we
that.
don't. Yeah.
Also,
I'm skipping a bunch of stuff here.
just an add-in here. There's a good chance Lance Hendrickson just added that part in. He was just like, you know what? Shut me off. I don't want to be in this franchise anymore.
All right. So, while they're having a funeral for Newt and Hicks,
Can we talk about how dumb this funeral was real quick?
Sure.
Like the slow-mo talking of Charles, or not even Charles Dutton,
They both talk.
the prison
Yeah.
superintendent. Well, yeah, they're like
Yeah.
talking over each other.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ashes to ashes. And it's intercut with an alien.
Birth.
No. Yeah, an alien being birthed out of. In this version, it was an ox for no reason at all.
that makes more sense than the dog.
It does until later on in the movie where this guy is looking for his dog for no reason at all. That never was in the movie before. But
Again, yeah, because it was cut weird. That didn't make sense. But, like, no, the ox makes sense because the ox were there helping pull out the thing.
But here's the deal. They pull it, they're like, I don't know what killed it. It was in the prime of its life. This dude just finds a face hugger on the thing. He's like, oh, look, I found a monster.
Yeah,
okay.
Just, hey, it's a
Yeah.
whatever.
It's like, it's this horrible giant spider thing with a dick in the middle of its hand face. And you're like, oh, that's weird. Wonder if I can
minimum,
eat
you
it.
just discovered like a new species,
Right? Like,
Something.
you would show someone.
Yeah.
It's like
Let's not
nobody
forget
says
who we were
anything.
dealing with. They probably
It's a
took it
stingray or
back and
something
tried to
like-
smoke it.
It's a stingray.
No, they probably took it back and tried to smoke it.
So,
To be honest.
all right, so you get the birth of this dog alien, and I'm like, the part where it's bursting out of the ox was pretty cool. I was liking it. Then it emerged, falls on the floor, it's all bloody. I'm liking that. Then it ran.
Then it's a baby deer, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, in this one, I don't know why, but they come out fully stocked.
2 movies setting up a canon that these aliens are snake-like when they're born. This thing's just a Bambi that runs like Sabretooth from Wolverine Origins.
Also,
Well, this one started the dangerous precedent, too, that aliens take on some DNA from their hosts, which led to, like, the Predalien
Fred alien.
and the Ellen Ripley Alien Queen hybrid horrible thing.
Yeah, there's that.
I'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah.
Let's
We're
not.
not doing that one. That's not on the list, is it?
I can't
Might
say
be.
what's on the list.
I think it is.
Side note for everyone, though, if you haven't seen this, they used a puppet to make this scene happen, to have the little alien run out because they wanted it to move a certain way. Their first attempt was they just dressed up a dog in an alien costume.
How much be adorable.
You can find pictures of it online. It is adorable.
Really? Did it look like those things from Willow?
No, it was cuter than that.
Okay.
Most of the ones I saw, it didn't have like a head on it. So it didn't have the head. It was just like a greyhound, this weird little like scrawny suit thing, like he was going out into space. I don't know. It was just cute.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't care. Adorable. All right.
So Ripley now has to have her head shaved.
Oh yeah. So there's lice everywhere on this colony for some
Yeah,
reason.
but they're not lice, they're maggots. Like, they're represented by just big-ass maggots and
Well, it's
crickets
like-
everywhere.
No, I think they use maggots to represent it, but he says,
says
there's
lice.
a lice problem.
I know he says lice, but there's just maggots on everything.
Well, they're caught in like a Nine Inch Nails video.
They really
Pretty
like,
much perpetually.
seriously.
So like there's pipes full of maggots and
It's like a Tool. Isn't that a Tool video?
either or.
Same difference.
Tool, it'd be claymation.
Yeah, but it would be like
or like they'd be weird misshapen puppets.
oh the pipes.
We borderline that
Yeah.
throughout most of the movie.
The
so
pipes
yes.
are full of meat.
Mhm.
It's just I broke a pipe open. There's just a sausage wandering through it.
That is a Tool video. There is one
Yeah.
where there is just a pipe full of meat. I do remember that.
This is pretty. This is either one of those or like every other thing you saw on liquid television. It doesn't matter. It's all brown and gross and covered in bugs. You know what? That's probably why they didn't think about the facehugger. Just everything had bugs everywhere.
But here's the thing.
Like,
Like,
I'm not
I was annoyed
surprised.
because they're doing this funeral, and Charles S. Dutton's like, "Why are the innocent punished? Why do they suffer? Why is there suffering?" And I'm like, "You guys are all criminals. You're why innocent people
Yeah.
are punished. You're why they suffer because you choose to do your own pleasure over other people's feelings and stuff, and you hurt other people. That's why innocent people are punished. You dumb douchebag."
Well, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying, but like I'm sure he's quoting some form of scripture.
No, he's not.
Well, no, in this world, he
They're-
is.
He's
they're
all
made
like,
up religion.
yeah, maybe he's like,
Yeah.
hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Exactly. And
Yeah, his character is interesting in that, like, you kind of want to like his character, but he's just always like, "Hey, you want to do this thing that my other's like, fuck you."
yeah.
That's basically it. Like,
It's like, I have weird priorities and I'm not going to explain it
Yeah.
all, so blah.
Like, I don't like anybody in this movie.
No.
Like, not one character.
There was
I like.
not a likable character.
Yeah.
I still kind of like Ripley.
Like, all right.
I
about
don't even
it.
know. I don't even like
that-
Ripley.
like,
Not
I like
as
her
much.
more than everybody else.
Yeah,
right.
not as much as I have, but
I don't like the alien.
I mean, I think Ripley's the one with the double Y chromosomes because she can apparently hold off an alien gestation for like a week when, everything else gets it in like
Maybe
10
queens take
hours or
longer.
something. Well, sure. We'll go with that.
I don't know.
That's fair, Joe. That's fair.
It takes longer to form that giant ass.
I would argue with that on one major account, which is like an hour and 20 minutes into this damn movie or something. She finally gets like a CAT scan, and we see there's just a full fucking alien in there.
Yep.
Like, what? That's got to have problems with your organs and shit. Like, I know she's bleeding a little from the nose, but that's going to do more than that.
It's little. It's tiny. It's a little tiny one. It hasn't grown bigger yet.
All right.
It's just a
All right.
nug.
All right, so
Just a nubbin.
you find out that the all the convicts here are voluntary prisoners. They decided to stay behind when Weyland Yutani wanted to close this place.
Yeah.
Because they like the solitude.
That seems pretty dumb, yep.
Well, they're like they are violent.
Yeah, I get that.
They're like, you know what? We probably shouldn't be anywhere near civilization.
We get left alone here, and like
It still doesn't make for an engaging movie cast.
No, I feel like this could have been good, but it's just
It could have if they made the characters likable or
distinct.
distinct at all.
Yeah.
Like, able to be distinguished between
Spent some of the 2.5 hours like getting to know more than the two characters that die immediately.
Right. Like if you at least made them all like shirt tails. Give them all a different shirt with like a funny phrase on it instead of just, all right, we're just going to go to the dump. We're going to find all the used toilet paper and we're just going to wrap everybody in the same used toilet paper. That's your costume.
Well, that's part of the thing. Like, if a good way to make some of them distinct, or at least one of them, is to make them likable, and then we could follow that person at least. But yeah, we don't have hair, so you can't have unique hairstyles. We're in kind of a prison, so you sort of have a uniform, or I guess it's more just like,
What the prison
waist
had.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Because Aliens had the same amount of arguably dead meats in it. But you knew those dead meats.
Yeah, you remember all of them pretty much.
Yeah, even the ones that like die off screen, like Wizbowski. I remember Wizbowski.
Yep.
like it doesn't help that this movie immediately once
Ripley is awake, they immediately start arguing about how she shouldn't come out because they're going to rape her.
Oh my god!
And that's the whole rest of the movie.
Yeah.
like that's an underlying.
It
and
really
they say
is.
it constantly, and it's like fuck, like that's not necessary. Like what?
Like,
Well, that and
I also hold on. I also like the argument is always like we need to keep her locked away because these guys are gonna kill her, and then just like she goes out and does stuff, and like no one's fucking there to say no, and then just like she goes back in that room, and they're like, well, now she shouldn't come out again because they're gonna rape her, and like we just keep repeating that shit. Like fucking do something about it then.
It's just
No one
ugh. Like,
no one wants to do anything in this movie.
No.
So, like, this is the point where, you know, Clemens has put everything together. He's like, this lady knows some shit. I better pump her for information. She's like, make love to
Literally.
me like before the war. And they presumably hump.
yeah,
I don't
they
like-
hump.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
it's so random.
But it's just like, want to have sex, and then it's after the sex scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I'm suddenly,
I'm glad we didn't see it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
I just witnessed everyone I know and love die. Also, I'm in the dirtiest place in the universe. I want to bang right now. It's every guy's dream.
I
really.
can't think of a lie to tell you about the alien, so I'm just gonna hump you instead.
Yeah. I
While,
figure my
while this
vagina
is
will
happening,
distract
we watch a man do the important job of stand next to a fan, smack a wall with a shovel, and yell.
you. He was scraping goop.
Yeah, he's just a regular goop scraper.
Yeah.
Presumably, if you don't do it, I guess that fan will get gooped up.
Yeah.
I don't know what that fan does.
Catches goop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
gets
don't know
gooped up
why
by
you don't turn it off while you're working near it.
Because that is a. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, you're right. Because they were like,
Probably couldn't.
he got sucked into the fan.
It was. He fell into the fan. The fan was
Right, but they
Yeah.
said he got sucked into the fan until they realized, the fan was blowing, which means that the fan can go in either direction, which means that it's probably just for ventilation of some kind.
Also,
which-
when they're investigating all this, it's off.
yeah,
so-
so it's like, what?
Yeah,
Why-
they can.
Why anything right now?
Who knows? And this guy's like, oh, look, a dark hole that isn't here normally. Just shove my head in there.
Yeah,
You know.
I found somebody's discarded ass skin.
Yeah, I'm doing the scraping job near the open fan. I found some leftover skin from something and a big deep hole that was just burnt in here. So let's go noodling and shove my arm in there and see what we
Not
get.
even shove the shovel in it first.
Yeah. You know why? Because that guy likes to shake hands with danger.
But like, the point for me is like, this place is like a understaffed work prison, right?
Yep.
It's the same shit every day for their entire
Yeah.
lives now. So whenever something different happens, you would think it'd be like a big deal.
Right.
Real big deal.
Yeah.
And so like, but so far we see different happens all the time, and no one, everyone ignores it.
Yeah.
Like, I found a monster. Oh, I found a skin of a monster. And let me stick my face in this burn hole and see if a dog is in there that there's no reference to at all in the rest of this movie because it's a different version of the movie. So that's a whole separate thing. But so he gets scared by the alien
That's a fair reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also rolls like a quarter mile.
It hits him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he rolls like a lot.
Yeah, I think it slashes at his face and he rolls backwards or whatever.
He was all gooped up.
I guess.
Yeah, he slid on all that goop. He should have been cleaning more.
I guess so. He's playing
I also
double
like-
dare.
But yeah, since the cut we
Giant
watched,
death fan.
since the cut we watched, there is no previous mention or showing of this dog. So with all the ridiculousness going on with Garlic Jr. and whatnot, I honestly thought Spike was his friend. Like it was just another guy that was down this hole. It's just weird.
So, what happens now? So, okay, they find the acid
Whole
burn.
lot of nothing.
Yeah, Clemens comes to investigate. He's like, yeah, the dude went through a fan. Like, I don't know what you need a doctor to tell you here, but he does find the acid burn. He confronts Ripley again. But superintendent's like, I have to be a twat. Come to my office. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a whole, what do you need me to tell you about the guy falling through a fan? Like, you need to tell me what the hell Ripley's involvement is and all this shit. And like, I don't know.
It's a whole lot of people not telling each other.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. Let me go talk to Ripley because she's like, well, you got something you're hiding. You want to tell me that? And fuck you.
No.
And by the
At
way,
this point, the alien finally starts killing other people.
yeah, I was gonna say. By the way, while we're having all this nonsense discussions, like we just lost 5 more people.
Yeah. Well, we get one scene before, and like the important things that happen here is basically that superintendent reveals that Ripley is considered high priority, needs to be kept alive and quarantined, and that a Weyland-Yutani rescue team is coming here, and it's like the first time this place has ever gotten like a high priority message. And then she goes to get Bishop while this is happening, while the superintendent's distracted, and she, in the garbage pile, is the perfect spot to commit a sexual assault.
Right.
She encounters a rape squad.
Lieutenant Ripley.
Yeah, that, wants to get themselves a piece of Ripley, but unfortunately, Charles S. Dutton charges in here with his desexing stick and breaks things up real quick. Just beats the fuck out of these dudes.
Yeah, whatever religion this is, it has nothing against violence apparently because he is beating some sense into them literally.
Like, I mean, I get it. She was outnumbered, but like, she could have put up a better fight than she did. I feel.
Mm. Well, she's been queen. She's sick.
If it was,
Sure.
If it was last movie's Ripley, would have been all
Oh, yeah.
different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, because she'd been learning with the Marines and stuff, and
Even then, she tends to do better when she has like weaponry and stuff she didn't have here.
Garrett, either way, even if they like overpower her and stuff, that first guy, she's doing something terrible.
she would have ripped
Oh,
his
yeah.
dick off,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
one of them
for
should have
real.
at least gotten
Yeah.
like punched in the nuts or something.
All right.
I like how the dude puts his goggles on.
Yeah, his
but
raping goggles.
Doesn't
Yeah.
take his pants down.
Well, he was about to take his
Well,
pants down. He didn't get
No,
that
he was
far.
busy roaring, according to the
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
He's got a ritual he's got to go through.
psyching himself up.
It's been a long time for
Yeah,
him, Brian.
he forgot the steps. I don't know. He's like, let me get my goggles.
He might have been roaring in frustration because he couldn't remember where it's supposed to go.
Like usually when I do this by myself, I need the goggles to protect my eyes from the splashback. But
Wow.
All right.
all right, sorry.
So, meanwhile, 3 guys have the important job of putting candles in a tunnel. They're measuring something, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, this was another one I heard. It doesn't really make any sense in the context of the movie because we didn't shoot enough. But I think the idea was they were supposed to be looking for any, like, pretty much anything left behind from this facility. They, like, keep going further out every time to find, whatever they could use.
And, they didn't want Garlic to come along because he's crazy and he smells.
Yep.
But, Charles Dutton was just like, fuck you! That's basically how he responds to just about everything.
Like, stop making fun of Garlic or I'll kill you.
Yeah, any challenge in this movie to his authority.
Yes, he's weird. Yes, he smells bad. But fuck it, you're taking him anyway.
It's your problem
Yeah.
today.
Deal with it.
Yeah. Garlic looks like he somehow has like one tooth, like his upper teeth are just one fused tooth. Like, I don't know how that works.
It might be. Who knows? But yeah, a bunch of people start dying here.
Yeah. alien
just-
shows up.
Yeah, it's roaming around these tunnels and just killing people. And Garlic gets to see all this madness. He gets sprayed in the face with a bunch of blood. tries to
Alien's all
warn
like,
people.
I don't have to kill you because I ate that first dude, but you guys just shouldn't be part of this world.
Your time has come. Garlic tries to warn everybody else, but they're just like, "Oh, Garlic, you so crazy," and they end up locking him up.
Well, no, Garlic, he's like, before I do that, let's have some breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
This goes back to the cafeteria. I think he gets himself some oatmeal or whatever.
Well, I mean, just the same thing I do when I get nervous about something.
And
I just
covered in blood.
Stuff my face. Yeah, every time I find
Not the first time we've
everyone around me deceased and I'm covered in their blood.
Well, so when they find him, they think that he killed the.
Yeah.
Today wasn't the first time we've come over here and Rob's just like digging through diabetes covered in blood and muttering to himself. But like they did, we just assemble as a team and do like 1, 2, 3, get her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strap him down, figure things out.
Yep.
Little morphine makes it all better.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Yeah, like, then, he's claiming there's a dragon. Ripley's like, yeah, he's probably right. Principal Chalmers is like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Or Superintendent Chalmers.
He's darn right he doesn't care because this whole time she said nothing. She's added nothing. She's just been annoying and demanding and just a pain in the ass. And now she's like, yeah, that dude that's to be crazy and has killed people before. No, he's totally right.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, there are these crazy aliens that
There's a
live
dragon.
inside you for a while. These dragons that explode out of your chest after a while and start reproducing and murdering everything. Like,
Yeah, they just ate for 14
sure.
17, 20, make it 48 hours.
As long as the plot needs it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just ate for an amount of time.
So also at this point though, she has talked to the bishop and he revealed that there was a face hugger on the pod and
Wait, it didn't say how.
yeah.
He
No.
said the whole time.
Stuff we
Yeah.
knew already, yeah, but she finally finds out, and then he's just like, "Kill me." She's like, "Okay," and that's like all the emotion that scene gets.
Look, I wish he had said like something like I had to put one on, like they made me do it, or something like that, like
That could have made a little sense, although
Yeah, I wouldn't say the bishop would do
it
that,
was,
but
still would have been difficult. Like, the egg still would not have made sense because
That-
Ripley would have checked
yeah.
for it.
That would have been
Yeah.
interesting if he didn't know that he did it, but then like Ripley asked, and like he revealed in his program that he's like, "Oh crap, I did do that."
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Something
Yeah.
along those lines, like Cylon style. He doesn't know.
like Paul Reiser's character like did something to
Yeah.
the program.
yeah. he's
But instead, we
preferred.
get Paul Blart's character with just utter nonsense crap.
So yeah, superintendent. Of course, he doesn't believe Ripley. Also, this place has no weapons
No,
because I mean, it does kind of make sense because what are you going to do with them?
right.
Right.
It's like, oh no, you revolted. You've got this whole nothing to yourself.
Shithole to yourself.
I would also give him this kind of brings us back to the first Aliens where we're dealing with one alien and showing how dangerous that can
Yeah.
be on its own and like adding the stakes of you can't really fight it back, get nothing. So that I think that was kind of a neat choice. And apparently that was more just because Sigourney Weaver is like anti-guns and didn't want to deal with that. But
Oh, okay.
I think it works.
But like guns are made to kill dangerous things.
Well, I mean, you could take that up with Miss Weaver, I guess, but no, they could have still had a flamethrower.
They could have had a welder.
A welding torch, yeah, that makes sense on a big planet where they just weld things.
Well,
Why
I
didn't
wanted.
they have welding torches?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's
But-
a refinery. The hell?
Yeah, you would think in a place where you smelt lead, there would be something to cut lead.
How do you maintain the equipment?
By the way, this would also be a good time
Not
to
very well.
Scrape goo off the fans, I guess.
be another good time to have a montage of Ripley just making shit, like making her own weapons with some duct tape.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like 5 blow torches taped around that axe. I don't know, whatever.
So
She made that in a cave.
now,
Scraps.
like, she goes back, talks to Clemens, the doctor. He tells her his backstory about, how he's committed malpractice.
After
'cause
that, he's in a maximum security
yeah.
prison.
And then it's like, okay, well, we spent a lot of time with you. We've developed your character a bit. I can recognize you from everybody else.
She's already slept with you.
So I slept with you. So of course, it's time for you to die.
Yep.
And Alien just comes in and is like, you using this? Nope. Okay, good.
So it's not even an alien anymore. It's freaking Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like boops his forehead with a second mouth that causes his forehead to explode. And like, okay, so Ripley's like, shit, that sucked. Gotta go. Tell everybody else.
Here's the scene.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
The scene with where it comes next to her face and leaves her alone
forgot
and
about
walks away.
That's actually legit cool.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's good creepiness.
Yep.
That works.
Yeah. And that's where she's like, wait a minute. Why you want to kill me?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a surprise
Yep.
because earlier in the movie, you see her like coughing
Yep.
and stuff and her nose
Well, you
bleeding.
saw the damn face hugger crawl in her pod.
Yeah, that's true also. I don't remember that from, like, is that part of this specific cut?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
They
'Cause I don't
do
remember.
try and play it off, which I almost would have worked if you played this up more. But in the previous movie, she doesn't do well with the cryo sleep. She tends to be sick quite a while after. So they try and claim it's that, but they don't really. They mention it once and then they just don't go back to it.
Yeah,
like
it's
you're
a
not
throwaway
going
line,
to piece
so
it
it's not
together.
something to
Yeah.
think about.
Either way, okay, that scene's pretty suspenseful. She runs to the cafeteria where everybody else is talking now about what they're going to do. Everyone's yelling. The alien's like, okay, so you see the superintendent character? This other guy that you've kind of developed a little bit. You know, he's an asshole. He might be that guy that's sort of the, like, secondary villain.
But he's,
You know.
I mean, he's not even, really.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's
But, like,
clearly not a villain.
Either way, though, you're like, this guy that you can tell from everybody else and has a personality and stuff, could pull him in the ceiling and kill him, too.
I mean, his thing is, he's a prison warden. He's trying to keep peace in his prison. He pretty much lets them do whatever. Like, he lets them have their little weird...
I'm not saying he's a bad dude. It's just he was distinct from everybody else.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what?
He's the
What's
most
that?
loud...
I think this is the problem. That alien is drawn to character.
Yeah.
Like
that what it is?
doctor
That's
had
why
a
he
unique
doesn't want to
character.
kill Ripley in this movie.
Yeah, and that crazy guy that was in the bed next to her, like,
Yeah.
he gets to live because he's not much
a
of
little
a thing. Well, yeah, of course you're going to kill him eventually. He's starting to become a character.
I can tell later on you're going to fuck this up.
Yeah.
So I got to say, though, in this cafeteria scene, though, when they pull when he pulls the superintendent up and all the blood falls down and everyone freaks out, Morse has like one of my all-time favorite, just yelling the word "fuck."
Yeah.
it's a great encapsulation of what just happened, and that I really liked.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that might be a like top 10 worthy fucks in a movie.
Okay.
But something actually nothing happens here. This is a long stretch of nothing where I started to fall asleep.
Well, we go to a different room and we talk for a while.
Yeah.
We whisper about. And now there's Dylan. Morse, I think at this point you start to identify that he's a separate guy
So he'll be
from
dead
everybody
soon.
else.
Yeah.
Well, he's the only one that lives.
There was another black guy.
Yep.
It was.
No, he's dead now.
He
No,
goes
no,
already died.
No.
No, he's
Oh,
not
no,
dead
you're
yet.
right. You know,
He's
because
not
there's the
dead
guy
yet.
with like the Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so then there was that guy. There's Morse starts to, get his own personality
Oh, yeah,
now.
there's the deep voice.
Yeah.
Like, that sounded like Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
And then
That screwed us
there's
both up.
a whole bunch of bald dudes.
Yeah.
Well, there's 85.
Well, there's all bald dudes and a bald lady, and I can't tell any of them apart.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell Peter Postlethwaite because, like, it's Peter Postlethwaite.
Yeah, you can see his
but
nose.
he's no distinction from anybody else.
He doesn't do anything in this
Yeah.
movie.
It's just bald heads, like, in a dark corner muttering some nonsense.
Yeah.
That's why I fell asleep.
And after being like one of the only decent parts of Lost World, you're like, why are you not doing anything, Pete? You're letting me down.
It's come to bag a buck.
Yes.
Yeah, so
gotta hunt
we get
this
a lot
alien
of
for
a lot of
reasons
nothing
that
for
are
a
his
while. Then they finally start hatching a plan to do something about this fucking thing.
Well, yeah, they're like, okay, we got this one room that only has one way into it, like, because I guess closets aren't a thing
No.
in this place.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, I was thinking, I'm like, a rescue team's coming, you know where all your supplies are. I would just put myself in that room. Like,
That's
it doesn't
what I
know how
was
to
kinda
open
thinking.
the door.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Unless they've learned how to open doors.
But
But my whole complaint. So
Don't worry,
it's
a Linux
basically it's a
system.
toxic waste room that they have, which never got used but was clean as fuck. It's like 6 feet thick, stainless steel. It's one way in, whatever.
Yep.
But I'm like, this thing has acid, and
yeah, it's going to get right
can
out.
get through it. So I'm confused as why even she was like, oh, it'll hold just fine. Like, it's showing you they don't care about fucking anything. The
Yeah.
acid goes through everything.
Yeah, the thicker parts might take it a while, but it'll get there. And the thinner parts, it's just going to come on.
The door was only a foot thick, so
Even that didn't have like a window.
no.
Maybe okay.
No, I don't believe it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly, I thought, because when they went in there, I guess it was the toxic waste, but I saw the barrels and I was like, oh, so we're going to like just pour gasoline or something, like this whole shit on fire when it gets in? Or
Yeah,
But
so
no.
the plan they came up with was they had this some sort of like napalm type shit. They're gonna basically drive it, force it through all the air ducts to this one area, into this room. They're gonna close it, lock it. That's what they're gonna do. Didn't work out that way, but that's
So it was funny while I was watching this. One of the guys I watched it with, I don't think he had ever seen this movie before. But I had before I started casting the movie, I left the mouse cursor over the play button, so the whole time you could see the progress bar while we're watching it.
no.
I hate that.
And he's looking at it, and he's
Shame
just
on
like,
you.
"This isn't gonna work."
Yeah.
Because the movie's only like 2/3 of the
still-
way done.
Yeah,
He's
there's
like,
still
this
like
is
an
not gonna
hour.
work.
No, 2/3. Are you serious? No, there was like an hour and a half of
Yeah.
the movie left at this point.
well, I mean, it does work, but like anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For a moment.
So one of the themes of this movie is that like the place is so old and so under maintained that most things don't work. So during their plan, a lot of doors they want to close don't close right and all kind of shit. So it takes way longer and way different routes than they had thought to try and be able to get this thing. And they actually end up lighting themselves on fire.
Yeah.
Well, because the aliens like, you guys are setting something up. I guess I'll just attack while you're setting it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this I
didn't
think this
get
was
the-
even before the door thing, but yeah, the guy was just still painting some of this goop on, and the alien's just
He's
like
carrying
hey!
like the thing that makes the fire in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're painting napalm everywhere.
Yeah.
In these tunnels.
Yeah.
And I swear they use the same scene at least twice
Probably.
of a dude on fire kind of jumping.
Oh yeah,
through.
I think
Like,
so. Yeah.
It's like, really?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna light the dude on fire, get all the mileage you can out of that shot.
well, I think the real problem
Because
is.
he's not getting lit on fire twice.
Well, I think the real problem is that we spent $7 million in a set we didn't use, so everything we are going to use, we're going to use multiple times.
$400 of a cardboard cutout of an alien that they use.
All right. You can also see at this point Ripley's getting weaker, and yeah, the dude drops the detonator or whatever you want to call this thing, and you get a kind of cool slow-mo shot of it falling to the ground, and then fires everywhere.
Fires everywhere, a bunch of people burn.
Yeah. So half of who's left is either killed or burned
Yep.
in this accident.
All right, but for a minute we need to talk about this. Because at this point, it is well established there's an alien in here. He's doing things. And he's sometimes like some kind of puppet or a guy in a costume. Other times, however,
I mean, it'd be she. They're all drones, females or whatever.
she.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we don't want to get an email about it.
Other times,
They're Disney
however,
princesses, all right.
Well, they're not. The queen is.
Well,
Is the queen a hermaphrodite though?
the queen is a queen. Queens give birth to princesses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all female. Like,
Well, because
I think the drones can be male.
well, yeah, because
Some of
in
the drones-
beehives
or
there are bees that are specifically
No, the warriors are male. The drones are female.
No, I
or
think-
vice versa.
in beehives. There are drones. Like I think they're only there to impregnate the queen, and then they die.
Yeah.
And everything else in the hive is female, like all the workers, all the warriors.
Okay, then it's
all
probably
of
the
that.
same for this.
Yeah.
I assume.
Uh,
I haven't kept up on my beekeeping.
so either way,
in some
this
time.
unless this queen can inseminate herself or doesn't reproduce sexually, which maybe I don't know. Like it still isn't going to work when this queen gets born.
No.
You're just going to have a queen running around.
Right.
I mean, there are animals that can like do stuff. Like
we don't know how this works, so it doesn't matter. Why are we talking about it?
I don't know.
It's a fictional species.
I
but
want to talk about this horrible CGI we got.
Yeah, it's
going
not
on.
good.
It's not even CGI. It's like
I mean, 1992.
Some of it was.
I know there's Jurassic Park, but like it's 1992 CGI.
yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it does not
Oh,
hold up well.
It's not even the fact that it's like not good. It's just not. It's not blended into the background like at all.
Yeah.
at all.
It's like worse than okay, it's not worse. It's on par with the terror dogs from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but those were claymations.
Yeah,
so it made
animation
sense.
on a green screen background.
Yeah.
And this is CGI on a green screen
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
Just cut and
Honestly,
paste it in.
if
They
this-
should be able to blend the edges at least. at
Yes,
this
you,
point.
well, that's the thing with a computer. You can go and once you're putting it in there, be like, you know what, that doesn't look like. Let's change the lighting. Let's do, let's blend those edges, whatever. But it's just
Honestly, this thing would have looked better if it was just a marionette.
It would have.
It would've,
really
yeah.
would have. Honestly, the whole thing was just a big puppet.
Ugh.
All right, so what do you do? They read the last rites for everyone who was killed in the tunnel. Then Ripley talks to 85, who's now, I guess, sort of in charge.
Well,
Sort of a character.
don't they catch it during this?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
caught.
yeah, I'm sorry,
It is
yeah.
caught.
A guy who I don't know who he is sacrifices
matter.
himself to get it in
Sacrifice
there.
guy.
Yeah, thanks, whoever you were.
Is that rapey guy? I don't even remember.
There was 5 rapey guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Like all I remember is the guy
We'll
with the
call him-
teardrop tattoo. I know he dies at some point, but I don't remember when.
We'll call this guy Bald the Face.
Yeah, it's one of the balls.
He's bald and he
One of
sacrificed
the
himself.
Baldwins.
Ball the face.
One of the bald ones.
The Baldwin brothers.
All right, so yeah, they have it trapped. So now
For a
Ripley,
hot second.
yeah, goes to talk to 85 and is like, don't tell the rescue team it's here and all that. We don't want them coming. They're gonna kill all you. They're gonna fuck this up. He's like, I want to get rescued. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, there's no way they're gonna do that, right? I don't believe you. That can't be true.
Yeah.
She's like, no, we gotta kill it because they're gonna want to keep it. So
But that's the
Like-
name that's on all my paychecks. They can't be bad.
Yeah, whatever. I'm telling them we're here and they're gonna come get us. And
finally,
it's
she's
gonna
like,
be
"Fuck it, go ahead, type it in. Go, type it in and ask them permission to kill the fucking thing. Watch what they say.
Yep.
Watch, just watch."
Denied.
So he gets on Ask Jeeves, and he's like, "Hey Jeeves, can I kill this alien?" And Jeeves is like, "I don't know. Ask Bing." So he gets on Bing.
Like the best part about it is he's telling her like she says send a message. He's like they won't respond. All they respond with is the same old stock message every single time. And she's like, fucking send it now. Watch what happens. Sends a message and immediately they're like, whoa, don't kill it. Don't kill it. Like,
motherfucker, I'll kill you first. I mean,
don't kill it. Keep it.
please don't.
It's like immediate. Which I always wondered, like, it's just Brian being a dork. Like, so they haven't figured out like light speed travel yet. Because they cryo everything.
Yeah.
But yet they have the communication can get to places way faster than so they have to have some sort of like subspace. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're right. Because even if that communication was going at the speed of light,
yeah.
that's still
Listen, you
pretty
couple
damn
of
fast.
Star Treks. Don't be poking holes in this
Sorry.
otherwise flawless plot.
It's
okay?
it's capable of doing it on its own. Thank you very much.
If it's like one light year away, the communication would take a whole year to get there. So
Yeah.
like, it's got to be something making them.
To be honest, there's probably a way. Like once they probably been tracking like the escape pod this whole time, and they probably just been orbiting this place like for the
Close
whole time.
enough.
Maybe.
But I think we have better communication now than we do travel as well. So assuming they both proceed in the same manner.
But I mean, like light speed's a constant. You can't send
Well, yeah,
information
that's the
faster
thing.
than
Like this world
Yeah.
doesn't suggest that there's
Yeah.
any way to defy physics.
right.
Which, the fastest you could go is light speed in physics, even for communication.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Brian being
Well,
short. Like,
maybe they went ludicrous speed.
oh,
They
Yeah.
could have.
What do we have on this thing? Cuisinart?
Yeah, they've gone plaid.
well, they go from suck to blow. So
So we went from suck to blow real quick.
What are we even doing now? Okay, so
Blowing.
it was,
Garlic's
it was
just
going.
like, I don't know.
I'm crazy town now.
Let's keep this party going. Just gonna smash Morse in the head with
Like-
a pipe.
That's how you knew he was still crazy as fuck. Because like even after they realized that he didn't kill the guy, they kept him locked up. They were like, you're a crazy fucker. No.
Can I tell you the real problem I had with that? Sorry. The real issue I have here.
Dotson. We got Dotson here.
We got the guy. He's like, I see. You've seen the alien. You know it's real now. I'm not crazy. He's flipping out on the bed. He's like, you gotta let me go because this is terrible. Blah blah blah. Whatever. The guy's finally like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna let you go. And immediately when he does, he's just like, I'm cool as a cucumber. I would be like, nope, fuck, the jacket's going back on. I do not trust how quickly you changed on a
here's the
dime.
thing, like, and it's the same argument they used in Jurassic World. It's like, isn't the alien exciting enough? Do we really need this weird mass murder subplot nonsense? Like,
Apparently.
is this a thing?
Well, it's not even that though, because like this isn't like a big mass murder subplot. It's really just hey, you got the alien trapped. I'm gonna go let it out.
Yeah, but like,
So we wasted 20 minutes just
like-
fucking around getting this thing in a closet for no reason.
He's like, it's beautiful, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's gotta be free.
Yeah, again, it's kind of a neat concept, honestly. I like the guy, he's crazy. He actually thinks this is some kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, god to him now or whatever. But like that could be interesting if we tried to explore something with that. But no, it's just like, oh, it's beautiful. I'm going to open the door. Oh, it killed me.
It's like that old saying, if you love something, you have to set it free. If it kills you, you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
I
know that saying well.
So,
been killed so many times.
Yeah.
Out again.
Is it like, so Ripley comes to Dylan now and is like, the
son of a
company's
bitch.
coming. Yeah, you're a son of a bitch. They're going to get this xenomorph. They're going to fuck it up. It's going to get out. It's going to kill everyone. Dylan's just like, fuck you, I don't care. That's basically it. He's like, I want to be rescued, whatever.
Yes. Well, Dylan did that or 52 or whatever?
Both of them have done that
52.
at this point.
Oh.
He just gets dumber. It's like Homer. He gets dumber every time.
This is when Morse runs in and
It's
is
like
like,
crayon in his nose.
So Garlic over here just fucked everything up. Just like slits this guy's throat. This like Kevin Grievous sounding motherfucker. And he's just like, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I got nothing.
And just lets the alien out.
Yeah, again, that last 20 minutes you just watched, meaningless.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just
not only lets
chance
the
to kill
alien
more
out,
people.
gets an off-screen death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Goes into the darkness
Well,
with the alien.
in fairness, the alien was like, you know what? You don't deserve it.
I mean, I think it was more like, you know what? It would look silly if I came out here.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you're going to do that, what you need to do is have him go in there and like you see all the shadows as he's standing in the doorway and you just kind of see a bit of light on his back and then have him get like pulled up or something. Something there.
Anything.
And then instead you see an alien running out of this room.
But yeah.
That's
Horrible.
It's not good.
The worst of the animation.
Yeah, it's not a good angle. It's...
Oh god!
I mean, honestly,
I honestly, for a moment,
side shot just a guy grabbing an alien puppet and just hucking it out the door.
I
think that might have looked better.
I think it was around here I questioned if we were actually watching the movie or playing the Jaguar game.
This might be a little too
that bad.
obscure.
Yeah,
but it looks like one of those.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it looks like one of those toys you could get like at the circus, where it's just an animal on a stick, and you can like move its legs back and forth.
I was thinking, at this point, it kind of looked more, and if it was a little less movable, it would have been, but like, you could have just gotten one of those like Happy Meal toys, where in the shape of running, but they got wheels, and you just pull it back, and it goes, like, that would have worked better than this.
This thing runs like Scooby-Doo.
It does.
Like a wind-up toy. Its arms are just going, woo, woo.
It's supposed to be more menacing in this one, that's why they call it the Beast.
So menacing.
Alright, so... Yeah, here's where Ripley goes off to the cryopod, finds out she has an alien inside her, which would have been a lot more potent of a reveal if we didn't already fucking know.
Yeah.
Like if there was some mystery.
Yeah, I think that's one of those movie laws, like, if you're, lead in the movie or whatever, can't figure it out till like 30 minutes after the audience is going to assume they're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So, just, try and hide it better next time, guys.
Like, you want the audience to realize shit at the same time, or around the same time as the characters in the movie do. If it's too early, it's as you were saying, like
maybe a little bit before the character, would you just like, oh, it would be cool if this happens?
Yeah,
it happens.
Well, he said around because
exactly.
it was a couple minutes beforehand, like you're piecing it together as they're just about to have the big reveal. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, here we're just like, no shit, Sherlock. We know what's going on here.
And so she goes off to see Dylan again, and she's like, oh, no, this is when she went off to see the alien.
Yeah. She's like, well, fuck it. It won't kill me now that I know that I'm its queen, because it's a queen inside me. It won't kill me. I'll just fucking go chase after it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go get
Try
it to kill me.
Some kind of weapon better than a pipe.
Are you my daddy?
I think she wasn't trying to kill it. She was trying to get it to kill her.
Yeah.
She was just trying to piss it off.
Well, instead, she stabs that pipe in the Tool video that's full of meat and maggots.
Full of meat and
whatnot.
bugs.
What pipe is that? Like, what?
The maggot
That's
pipe.
a big ass pipe, too. Like,
That's the pipe that comes off the side of the fan. That's why you gotta scrape that down every day.
I think that leads into the cafeteria. Let's be honest.
That's the toilet.
So another big
It's both.
problem I had with the sets in this movie was it's very much like a early video game where there's like 1,000 hallways in like 5 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It is just like they're going through all these hallways all the time, and it's like, what? Why is any of this here? Where does it go? What do we do? Why did there are a million doors and these crisscrossing grids of hallways that don't have doors that go to rooms? Just more hallways.
I got 2 answers for that. One is because it's so cool to see the shot from the alien chasing after the guy, quote unquote. So cool to see that.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is the money.
Yep.
They had a hallway and they're like, this is hallway A. We'll do this shot. Then we're going to spray paint B on top of that, kick that can to this side of the hallway. This bag is going to be moved over here.
The guy will run from off screen, throw a handful of maggots on the ground.
Yeah. And now this is hallway B and we're going to shoot that same shit again.
IMDb. Josh Perfensterf, Maggot Wrangler, Alien 3.
All right, so now she goes off and sees Dylan, and she's like, "All right, it won't kill me.
You son of a...
We gotta stop."
Yeah, he's like, "Can you kill me?" And Dylan's like, "Sure." Then he's like, "Fuck you, no." For real. I think at that one he legitimately yells, "Fuck you."
Yeah, he's so mad.
That is just a stock response.
Okay, and I understand. Okay, you're asking a murderer who thinks he has found repentance or like a path to redemption or something.
You beat the shit out of your dudes in the garbage chute before.
Even going so far as to take shots on defenseless men.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I think his thing is more just, I need your help in dealing with this thing, so you can die when this is over.
All right. It's like, I'll kill you right after that.
Yeah. So we have some complicated system to try and deal with this alien.
In fairness, though, there is a scene before then where all the characters meet and discuss what they want to do. And I felt that, I don't remember much about it, but I felt that Dylan and Ripley gave a good tag team inspirational speech. I think I felt as jazzed as this movie can make you feel, which is not that jazzed, but still any amount of jazzed is better than
I think the jazziness just comes from the fact that the speech means that the end of the movie has to be pretty
something.
close.
Either way, it's a positive feeling in a sea of sadness.
Yeah.
Joe, I want to sum up how jazzy that part was.
Mm-hmm.
When it's over, we had the subtitles on.
Yeah.
And instead of cheering and any of that stuff, it said chattering. That's
that is correct.
Chattering.
Yeah.
The inmates were chattering.
Okay.
Apples, peaches, bananas. Apples, peaches, bananas.
Here's
Chatter.
So, okay, they're like, I got a plan. We're going to trap it in the mold where we smelt the lead. Just drown in hot lead. Perfect. Good. Great plan.
Sounds great.
With their one impossibly big ingot that they make.
Questions.
No, don't
There's
yourself, sweetheart.
There's 1,000 hallways that go to this big-ass mold that makes this gigantic slab of lead that there are no doors for it to fit out of.
Nope.
And there's a piston that pushes things into the mold, but it's a mold that, stuff pours from the top into it.
Yeah, I was
what does the
wondering that
piston
myself.
do? So,
when this movie started,
and
they're showing like basically this refinery and shit like that. And I'm looking at the scene, and I said to Tony, like, I wonder how set designers like imagine stuff, because I'm like, do they think about how things would work, or do they just like put big things here and there? And he's like, Brian, why just put big things here and there? And that is exactly what this is. Just big shit around, and with no thought process how things would actually work out.
And this is 100% how like a video game level in this era would work.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
but it's like you just pour lead in this once, and then it's just full of lead. That's how it works.
And then it hardens, and then you just got
you don't have any welding torches. You're not cutting it up.
30 tons or whatever amount of lead you have there.
Yeah,
and you're just like, well, there it is.
I would imagine that swing arm that they use to maneuver around would lift it up and drop it off somewhere.
Maybe
when it was done.
That's entirely possible.
I'm guessing.
But but this is the problem I have. Like, again, this whole plan is like, oh, we got one shot. We can activate this thing once. We can get this piston and push it down into the mold, and then we can cover it with the lead. We got this. But we got to get it in front of this piston. But this piston moves about like 2 miles an hour. But they're like, oh my god, we got to get it in front of there. And then they like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get, no, I'm kind of get in front. No, I'm not. And it like keeps kind of just like sticking a toe out, but they're like, no, get over here. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And they're freaking out because like we only get one shot at this. But again, it's moving so slow. There's no tension. And then they're like, oh, well, we got to avoid this thing. So we're going to, we got to get into this one door, this other door. And it's like, you got 50 more doors before this hallway's done. Like, it doesn't matter.
Tony, how could you say there's no tension? Did you see Bald Man Closed Door? Or Bald Man Closed Door?
I saw a lot of Bald Man Closed Doors.
Or shot of Alien's eye, from Alien's view, chasing Bald Man.
Yeah, did you not?
Only for Bald Man to close door?
Did you not see Bald Man run from shaky cam?
Yeah.
I saw Bald Man run and Bald Man close door and Bald Man not close door and Bald Man die.
In fairness,
GoPro
so many
monster
times.
chase Bald Man.
The shot from the Aliens point of view did it gave me some nostalgia for Aliens vs Predator.
Oh yeah,
So that gave me a nice warm fuzzy.
Oh yeah, it's fun. But
I never saw that.
That's the video, the game.
Never played it.
Yeah. It's fun times. Yeah,
That's a good. Yeah, I'll hook you up right now.
Yeah.
Got it on
I don't mind that shot. Like, I get it. I get what they're doing, and that's cool. But, like, they were so in love with it, they showed it, like, 500 more times. It's like, I don't need that.
Well, yeah, the whole time the scene, it's like people you don't know are dying. Things are happening, and you get the idea that they're funneling the alien towards the mold, but you're like, what's the layout of this place?
Yeah,
How many
like,
doors do we have to close?
they didn't even know.
Yeah, they're talking about like route E, route C, route D, and they're like, which one's E? And I'm like, I don't know. Why
Yeah, which one's E? It's in D. I thought it was in C. Like who knows?
Why do you need 10 ways to get to a mold?
Right, why is it this, like, what possible reason could you have to have more than one door?
Here's your new plan. Here's the ledge. Lead it there. Push it over. It falls in the mold. Done.
Yeah.
We don't need a piston. We don't need this trap set up.
You think Ridley should have done like a running clothesline?
Yes! Would that have been any worse than what happened?
Just dive tackle it into the lead.
Suplexes the thing into there.
Why not?
Pour the lead.
All right.
So they get it into the lead. Charles just uses himself as he like fakes, abducts Ripley. So it's like, oh, the queen's in danger. We got to go rescue the queen.
Well, I gotta say the alien, it does kill everyone else.
Oh yeah,
during this process,
Except for Morse.
Yeah, Morse, Charles Dutton's character,
who is a bald guy.
52 was it right?
85.
85.
Yeah.
85.
Well, 85 doesn't want any part of this. He's gone off to greet the Weyland-Yutani rescue team, which is arriving.
Who he called in early.
Yeah,
because he said like they're about to kill this thing.
But so like Charles Dutton grabs Sigourney Weaver, Ripley.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Dylan, I'm sorry. Wow. Just never gonna get old, is it? Dylan grabs Ripley. He's dragging her through this thing. They gotta climb out of it. And she's like, no, I'm gonna stay here. And he's like, no, I told you, you can't die till this thing's dead. Mm-hmm. And they start to climb out. And then he's just like, oh, it's just gonna climb out. I'm just gonna stay here then. Yeah. I was like, well, then why didn't you let her stay? I don't.
Well, because it's not gonna care that she stayed there. It's gonna go.
Yeah, but she does. That's the point. Yeah. She wants to die. She knows there's one in her.
Obviously, it wouldn't have killed the thing.
Well, yes, but he didn't know that shit.
Yeah. So, she climbs out of the mold. Charles Dylan just does battle with an alien for a little while. I mean, he does better.
A lot longer than you would think.
Yeah, he does better than most people would. But
pour the lead. Pour the lead.
Yeah. Most people got bitten right through the forehead at this point. Like, what the hell are you doing? But hey,
maybe he found out where it's ticklish.
Dylan, he's got those big arms.
But yeah, so Morse drops the lead on it, and you're like, yay! And it's bubbling, and you're like, yay!
You get some inspirational music.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
But those of us looking at that time bar are like, that's not going to work.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to the, it wants to be similar to the previous two Alien films where you think everything's safe and then suddenly there's a fake out. But this just is like so...
It took very liberal advantage of the Leidenfrost effect.
Yeah.
Where you can stick your finger in the hot lead for like a half second. Except, this alien could do it for like a few minutes.
Well, I mean, the alien has a hard carapace on the outside.
And it's covered in slime.
And it's covered in slime. So I guess if you really want to fudge the numbers, you could say it's a thing. But like once the alien's aliens out, like that lead's gonna harden.
Well,
and...
also, I know it's super strong, but lead's fucking heavy.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
fucking heavy. Like
Yeah.
it's not climbing
well,
out
that's
of
what
there.
I'm saying. Like it's gonna be slowed, and then the lead is going to harden, and it's just gonna be like this weird statue.
I mean, if anything, it would have cooked its insides.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That would be funny if it just hardened and like it was stuck in place, and they have a statue and they still go near the mouth. 'Cause the mouth still comes out every once in a while.
Yeah, but like, there's nothing about this that's like, that alien is a
I was
threat,
okay
so-
with it. You got some basic science. You cool
Sure.
it real quick.
You cool it real quick, and
Yeah,
then
we-
somebody goes in and draws cracks over the
Yeah.
top of the alien head.
Yeah, the cracks I could have done without.
Yeah, we spray it with water.
Yeah.
This quick cooling causes it to crack open. It just kind of explodes apart.
It's like, yeah!
Yeah.
So yeah, it's dead. Woohoo.
Finally.
So Morse and Ripley are left, and this is when 85 shows up with the Weyland-Yutani rescue team. You got Japanese guy in what Eric and I agreed on were surgical robes.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a surgical wizard.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like the dad from Invader Zim or anyone.
She does look a little bit like that. Yes, sure.
But
You got some like not as intimidating looking stormtroopers.
yeah. And a not so mystery man.
Mm-hmm.
It's Lance Henriksen. We see
Yep.
it's Lance
He's got a giant Lance Henriksen head on him. Like, what else could it be?
Yeah,
Sure
that
does.
scarf isn't hiding the
No.
fact that you're Lance Henriksen.
He looks kind of like Auron from Final Fantasy X. If you
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they come in. They're like, "Listen, we want to help you. Don't worry about the alien thing. We're just gonna get it out of you, and that way you can live. And wouldn't that be great?" And she's
we'll
like,
totally kill it.
Nope," and just jumps backwards into the
Yeah,
fire.
well, this is one of those ones where it's like the company should have known what they were dealing with at this point. They should have been like, "Oh, hi, Ripley. Meet tasers.
Yeah.
All of the tasers."
Now,
Taserface?
Yeah.
Hey, Ripley, does this rag smell like chloroform to you?
again, in all fairness, like us being on the outside would think that, but it's
Mhm.
only been
A month, yeah.
That's true, yeah.
not even because
Yeah.
since that end of the last movie happened, she froze, so she probably never told them.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the point is that like with so much like at stake with this alien, like getting it safely, I don't think they would care at all about her compliance. I think
Yeah.
it would just be
yeah,
I think the idea here is not so much because they know Ripley so well. It's more because they've done this kind of shit before.
yeah.
So it's just like, hey, that's the person. Good, knock him out.
Well,
get
they
him in the
also
van.
might
Let's
not
go.
want to risk damaging the alien. Who knows? It
Yeah.
just the whole thing's nonsense. So
Yeah.
whatever. She's like, no. They just start shooting people, and she, yeah,
Well, this is when 85's like, "Oh, change your heart," and smacks Bishop with a pipe.
yeah.
yeah,
get
well,
shot.
because they shoot Morse, and he's
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck?"
So Bishop is another android, or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is
Yeah, okay. Because his ear, like,
his ear's all floppy.
yeah.
Well, that and like, I don't know if
And
Aliens
he's
versus
in
Predator
Alien versus Predator.
is technically canon or not, but like that's supposed to be the guy that all the bishops are based off of.
Yeah, I don't
Like-
It wasn't he and Prometheus too? Not Lance Henriksen,
Let's
but like,
hope not. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Anyway.
Nor have I.
I can't even devote the brain power. But
Mhm.
so yeah, Ripley in the version that we watched, she just goes into
Jesus
the,
is out.
Yeah, she totally like she eagles her way into the hot lead.
Classic T pose.
But I guess in the theatrical release, the alien actually is born, and she hugs it out, bitch, with that thing all the way down.
She grabs that shit and
She
holds
does.
on.
Yeah, she strangles it
Mhm.
all the way down. Either way, she's dead.
Yeah.
And then they leave and the credits roll. Except there's this one scene that holds you down and kicks you right in the nutsack, where it's like, hey, and I don't know what ship is it even?
I think it's the escape pod she was on.
But like all the pods are intact,
Yep.
and the like obviously the recording stuff is working because it's playing back to recording that she needed Bishop to access.
Yeah, it's her
earlier.
escape pod that's
Yeah.
they have in storage.
Like,
it's not
her original escape pod.
Yeah, I don't know how they cleaned it up so nice.
I don't know, but
because she used this is the one she used earlier to see that she had a baby.
Yeah.
so,
I don't know how
but-
the prisoners cleaned it up so nice when it had a Hicks smashed through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
And I would argue that the recording we hear is not necessarily being played through the ship.
Sure, it was like they're panning over the ship.
They certainly,
Yeah.
yes, that is the implication, but I don't know if that's actually.
That's gotta be. And anyway, it's the end recording from the first Alien film,
Yeah.
and you're just like, you don't get to do that. You just shat on both of those movies for 2.5 hours. You don't get to do that.
You know what else is terrible too? Like, as you learn more about science, like dying in like lava or like molten metal or something like that is so much more horrible than it looks in the movies.
Yeah, because you don't die.
If she was lucky, the impact from the fall killed her. Because
like, it might have because it was lead.
Yeah,
so
you don't sink into it. You're just there on the surface and you burn for a while.
Yeah, like I mean, they actually got it kind of right in Lord of the Rings when Gollum was in there, just kind of floating around and burning to death.
And depending on what cut you go with, she does also have an explosion in her chest.
Yeah, and with how hardcore we've seen these aliens to be, it's entirely possible the small one that burst out of her could have scuttled out of there.
That's true.
If he was close enough to jump.
Yeah.
So I should have hold it.
Yeah. I don't know
Apparently
how she
Joe
could hold it
could,
long
yeah.
enough.
There's my review.
All right. But yeah, so that's Aliens the Third.
Alien Cubed.
Alien Cube from 1992. Fuck. All right. So on RottenTomatoes.com, critics gave this a score of 46%. Audience gave this a score of 47%.
All right.
That's their thoughts and opinion. What about you and yours, Joe?
Okay, so as you all know, I'm that kind of guy that if you make a pretty big mistake in your movie, it's hard for me to forgive you. And if you take everything associated with the Alien franchise out, put a different monster in, I don't think this movie is necessarily all that bad. It'd be a little boring, but I'd still be kind of interested in it. I like David Fincher's art style in it, even though the color palette is very DC-esque. I think it could have been a okay movie. But when you have it as part of the Alien franchise, which the first two films mean so much to me, I'm just immediately pissed in the beginning. Newt and Hicks are dead. You kill Ripley at the end. You do a lot of nothing. The alien looks like crap. Like Ripley kind of sucks. Everything just sucks when you put it in that context. And I wanted to like this movie, but I can't.
Okay. So not a recommendation from you. Rob.
I legit hate this movie. Like, I feel like it stole my time. It stole my Alien franchise because it's just all downhill from here. And
sadly, this is the best of the bad.
I mean, that, I haven't watched Alien Resurrection in a long time, and I've never seen Prometheus or Covenant or whatever.
Yeah, Covenant.
So, I'm only basing this on a little bit, but it basically opened the floodgates for nonsense, where I think Alien and Aliens were pretty much a perfect capsule. They get away with Newt and Hicks, and you could kind of fill in how that story progresses and ends. And they could still do Alien movies without Ripley. Even the Alien vs. Predator franchise, as terrible as those films are, they're self-contained. They don't involve Ripley or any of the other characters or Dutch or anything like that. So it's like, all right, it's a dumb movie, but it's harmless. It's a dumb monster movie. You just leave that alone. But now they're just crapping on movies that came before that did it so much better. And for me, it's bothersome. And so, no, I obviously don't recommend this movie. It's so boring and so stupid. The plot is just circular. It just keeps going around and around in a circle the whole time. So no, it's a pile of steaming dookie fruit.
Dookie fruit.
All right, Brian.
So this movie gives you none of the suspense from Alien. None of it. It tried, but it failed. Gives you none of the action Space Marines that you got in Aliens. The chase scenes through the hallways was kind of actiony, I guess, but really didn't really do it. You have none of the characters, like the characters you know of from either of those movies. Like, no characters stands out really, so it fails on that aspect. And just imagery in it fails on that aspect. So there's nothing in this movie that I liked. So I would give this an F. Maybe an F plus, because there's something maybe could have done a little bit better. But I would not recommend this movie. Don't watch it. It's not so bad it makes me angry. It's not. I don't hate it, but it's a letdown. Like, and maybe like Joe was saying, if it wasn't part of this franchise, if it was just a different monster movie, it would have a different, different feeling to it, whatever. But because it is the third Aliens movie, it should feel like Aliens or one of the movies, but it just doesn't. It just sucks. Like, don't watch it.
All right. No surprise here. I'm gonna be on the same with everybody else. I can't recommend this movie. As we mentioned, there are inklings of good ideas here. There's that seed, that germ, whatever you want to call it, of what could have been a good movie, which usually is just all the more disappointing to me when I can like start playing a movie in my own head that's better than what I'm watching. And I think, as I read up, the problem here is too many cooks. There's too many people. We ultimately had like 3 or 4 different directors at one point. There are multiple writers. A rewrite so last minute that the song you hear at the end when Ripley kills herself was written the night before. Like, it's just, there's too much going on. Huh?
There was a song?
Yeah, the
piece of music,
score, or whatever.
Oh, just the people going,
But it has
I don't think it was that, but yeah.
Made the night before, but with none of like the John Carpenter charm for like all the songs he made the night before.
Yeah.
not nearly enough synth.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so the idea here is there was like, we had maybe a good script or two, but someone took like 5 other scripts, threw it all in a blender, and just like threw it up on the floor and was like, figure out how to make that into a movie. And it didn't work. It does poop on the Alien franchise, and it's a major letdown. And this is just an utter waste of time.
You know what they did with the script? They cast it out of lead in a mold where the doors were too small.
You just couldn't lift it.
And they're like, well, it's there.
That's it.
This could have totally just been The Relic.
Mm-hmm.
Remember The Relic?
I remember the
that
Relic.
movie.
Huh?
What's that movie?
No, it's a movie where they get like they summon a god monster in a museum.
Oh god, no.
And it's just this monster that runs around killing everybody. But it's basically the same. The alien acid blood has nothing to do with this movie. It's in the escape pod, and it's in that one scene in the fan. But that could have easily been replaced with like scratch marks.
Yeah.
Like there was no, they had
And like, it doesn't have to be Ellen Ripley. It could have been any woman crash landing on this planet.
anybody.
If you're going to kill off Hicks and Newt, like, yeah, you could have just had any other woman and any other monster.
Yeah.
And I think it is important to point out like how good Alien and Aliens are. Like Alien pretty much defines like a modern monster movie. It's one of the examples everybody points to.
Oh, absolutely.
And Aliens is like, it's hard to say if there's a better action movie that's like ever. Like generally it's Die Hard, Aliens, and RoboCop. And that's what everyone talks about. So I mean, and this movie doesn't come close to either.
Yeah. Like we said, they took 5 scripts, they threw it in a big hallway with a piston that put it all in one big mold, and it just made a lump of poop.
Is there a bigger like trilogy letdown than this one? Because like you come through 2 amazing movies to this one.
The 2 amazing
prequels?
followed by a 3rd bad one. Because there's ones where like you have a really good first one and then both suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the second one's like meh and the third one's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, people other than people at this table would argue maybe the Spider-Man franchise, the original Spider-Man franchise. I mean, none of those movies are like on the same tier as this.
But the third one definitely was a major nosedive.
Yeah,
that's a good.
Most people argue that the second Spider-Man is better than the first.
Mm-hmm. We probably could do a similar one with Batman, I would think, because 89 was good. Batman Returns was all right, and then
Batman
after that was
was Val Kilmer trying to act.
Though some people might defend Batman Forever.
Sure, I mean, so I mean, there's a lot. I guess, but
what are your thoughts, fans? Right in.
Yeah, right into the 4am podcast at gmail.com. But yeah. So we're not recommending Alien 3. That's nose all around. What do we want to recommend instead?
Well, we talked up the other 2 Alien movies.
That's kind of what I figured. All right, so
you should actually go back and listen to our Lake Placid podcast available on our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com.
Actually, I think Alien vs. Predator. I think the first one is at least a fairly underrated film, and I think I did like that better than this one.
I would actually
saw it.
say the second Alien vs. Predator movie is better than the first one.
See, that one I never saw.
It's cheesier,
Yeah.
but there's actually like multiple aliens and multiple predators, and it's more fun. It's more of like a monster movie.
Less Beauty and the Beast.
It doesn't take place in a
Weird Arctic pyramid.
weird pyramid in the Arctic.
Mhm.
How about Pitch Black?
Pitch Black's
Good
not
call.
one either. All right. So yeah, go watch one of the other two Alien movies or Pitch Black.
Just stare at a wall for 2.5 hours.
Oh, actually, one other question I wanted to put before the group, I just realized. Movie, can we just say it is an official rule of thumb that if you don't use the proper grammar in your movie's title for what you're trying to have it do, your movie's probably going to suck.
Examples.
Yeah.
Fan Four Stick, Alien Cubed. I would say SE7EN is the best of that bunch. Generally, if you don't spell the thing properly, it's probably a bad movie.
Interesting.
Are you going to call out most of the Fast and Furious film franchise?
Are
Why
they spelled
not?
wrong?
Most of them have like the number in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most recent
Oh.
was Fate
Fast
of the
Five,
Furious.
yeah,
Fast
Fate of the
Five,
Furious.
Fate of the Furious.
8.
I mean, I guess it's just yeah.
But those are all like, is anyone,
Jungle to Jungle.
Is anyone taking that serious?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. I really couldn't think of many other.
I mean, that's kind of the wink to the audience. It's just like, come on, guys, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't. I mean,
Yeah, I think everyone pretty much agreed with Fast Five. That one not only took it to the craziest point, but sounded like it could be the name of a porno. So they're just like whatever.
I mean, that's usually just what I do when I get home from work.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta
Give
go
myself-
fast five.
Yeah, before the wife gets home, give myself a Fast Five.
So a Fast Five.
All right, so
Not a Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's when you overdid it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the point there
And I
is
suffer the fate of the Furious.
if you did not have a good dick joke on this podcast, there you go.
if you're doing weird stuff with the title, yeah, you got to have a reason for it. 7, I think, kind of works because it's a weird movie. So yeah, think carefully before you name your movies, I guess. All right, but until then, what do we have? What else we got
Happiness.
coming up for
Isn't that
the?
just happy with Ness at the end of it?
What else we got for the people, Brian?
We get to roll that D20 of fate to see what we watch next, and I believe it's your turn, Tony. We had no sponsored episodes this go around, so we start off our four roll again.
I
Yeah,
heard
guys.
rumors.
I heard
of
rumors, too.
Stanley brother wanting to sponsor an episode.
Oh.
I did hear this as well.
As well,
but,
we'll see.
Well, I've heard a lot of rumors.
Yeah, I haven't seen that paycheck yet.
I've yet to see a lot of dollars.
But anyway, until then, let's give this a roll, see what nonsense we're watching next week. That's
Oh.
Lucky 13
Lucky
on
number
Friday the
13.
13th.
What are you talking about?
All right.
This is
13.
April.
Fuck it, we recorded early.
13 is
Oh,
1982's
shit.
Rambo First Blood.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Back to the Rambo. Oh my god.
Oh wait, no, that's the good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Alien Resurrection was number 4 on the list.
Oh.
Oh man.
And we had Rush Hour in there.
Yeah.
We had Hellraiser in there.
Oh, I can watch some Hellraiser. Oh, wow. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Oh boy.
Oh, never mind. That wasn't in there. Never mind.
What?
It's a good thing you can't roll a 20. Oh no, the X2. Never mind. That's a good movie.
Oh yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah. This one was hard to go
I,
wrong with.
I think we've gone through most of it. Well, not most of the shit, but a good portion of the shit is gone now. So
Brian, I'm gonna get you,
let's-
sucker. Was on this list.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
I
movie.
fucking love that
I've
movie.
never seen it.
Oh my god.
Batman Forever was also on this list.
Oh, we dodged that
I
bullet.
said that's a good portion of the shit, not all the shit.
So anyway,
Yeah, let's not tempt fate with that one. All right, so yeah, we got Rambo First Blood next week. Till then, what else we got for the people, Rob?
well, guys, before we go back to the world of John Rambo, we want to thank you so very much for listening to our podcast. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please check out our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com, where you can find all of our archived shows, things that are not any longer available on iTunes and things like that. And of course, consider subscribing. We have a new episode every week. If you want to spread the word about the show, please do so by leaving a positive review on iTunes. and liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter. You can do that at 4am Podcast. And of course, if you'd like to contact us, you can reach us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com and do so.
You want to know how dumb I am? So this little behind the scenes action here. This week we switched some chairs so I can see Rob's computer. I honestly thought every week he just said that from memory. I didn't realize you read it from a card. This man reads from a card.
Listen, I just
It's
have...
not always. He was always real.
It's a bullet point list.
But it's there for memory.
Just so I can remember all the stuff. And you know what? By listening, you would never know.
Yeah, indeed.
But now you do.
I'm such a professional. Thank you for ruining it for me. Joe disbelieved the illusion and destroyed it for everyone.
If you're done
That's
giving
my
us-
job here at this podcast.
If you are quite done giving yourself a fast five here at the table, we can move on.
Do it on your face.
On that note, deuces.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave.
Thank you all for joining us. We hope you join us next week for Rambo First Blood. Till then,
Adios.
Jumbie.
I already said deuces. I'm out.
good night, everybody. Say jump.